Hey everybody, this is Stephanie. Thanks for tuning in. I am jumping into the second portion of my Done by December. Really quick here, I'm showing you the template that I use to do my rough drafts of all the layouts that I still have to complete. I did mention this in a previous video where you just basically do your rough drafts on paper. I did create this template and I intended to use them for 2021 in my December daily, but I wanted to try it out for this 2020 and I placed the journaling in the back if I have any journaling. So I did that for quite a few of my layouts, and then I went ahead and printed most of my photos too. Most, if not all. So I'm letting you know in the pocket pages, that was the first thing that I attacked. I made sure to do all my journaling as you see here. I did not place the flip ups and adhere yet, hear them together, but that is next on my list of things to do. I did miss one journaling spot, but anything that belonged in the pocket pages, I went ahead and put them in. I recommend you trying that out if you are catching up with me, you guys, or just simply joining along on the process, the journey as I try and get this done. I intended this to be in real time, but for some reason, my mind just kind of goes blank, and then I start mumbling and talking to myself, and it doesn't always work. Here I'm showing you really quick that I have placed a card right there in front of our lasagna, just in the hopes that I would get the recipe for my husband. But as I thought about it, I realized if he's not making it, more than likely he's not going to give it to me. So I'm just going to wait for the December 2021. It is our tradition to eat lasagna on Christmas Day. So I'm just going to make sure I get that recipe for that year. So like I said, like right now, he probably isn't going to take the time to just give it to me. So I just know I can give it to him while it's, get it from him while it's fresh in his head. All right, I'm moving to the first layout. This is Christmas Eve. Now, I had intended to do a full page photo for this day, and it didn't come out that way. For some reason, it didn't want to print the way I intended, so it kind of printed bigger. But I just folded it and made a flap. Used some vellum pattern paper, the Home for the Holidays from the collection that I'm working with. And that's the vellum right there. I love the way that looks. And I actually intended to have that card right there as kind of like my title. And I really wanted it to be the full width of that side. But working with the silhouette, that is my main software when working with printables and digitals, it just wasn't going to happen. I did place a 4x6 pocket on top of the photo and did my journaling on vellum and place it in that pocket. So that way you're still able to see the photo and I still get my journaling in. And I love the way that looks. I've seen this done by Pam Bolson, I believe, and I'll be placing her channel down below. I love her December daily so much. Definitely getting inspiration from her. But I just like the fact that I was able to still, I got that done. I do want to mention that I had to sew the pocket on because the writing was on vellum, so if I used double-sided tape it would be able to see through, and I didn't want that look. So I'm just trying to find a spot in the album. I placed it right here on top of another photo, this one right here, another layout, and I love the way that came out, you guys. And we're going to go into layout number 1 is done. I think on this video I do roughly about 6 of them, and I thought I had 10 left, but in reality I was just counting the pocket pages as well that I still needed to do. So I got them all done, and I'm just so happy that this album is pretty much complete. I don't know if I'm going to keep that cut file there that you see in the left portion, the December. I may just save that for my December 21 because as I'm getting close to down to the wire and all of this is all scrapped, I just really want to move on to December 2021. All right, guys, as you can see, this photo is not a true 6x8 size, so I felt the need to do like a layout for it, but it's so big that it's not, I can't make a layout out of this. So I decided to make that picture bigger to fit the size of a 6x8, and I'm going to be placing this cut file on top of it with an acetate, and then I'm going to call that done. I wanted to keep it super simple. I didn't want to place anything on that photo. I loved the way it looked, so calm and peaceful, like the calm before the storm. All right, so here, this is what I did. For some reason, again, working with the software, it didn't want to print a true like 6x8 size. So what I went ahead and did was go into my pick frame app and did a 4x6 of the top portion saved it and then did another 4x6 with the bottom portion. I hope that makes sense, and it gave me a bigger size. So I'm going to be grabbing out a page protector that has the two 4x6, and I'm going to call that done. So I just felt like that made me feel a little bit better, so I didn't have to feel like I needed to do a layout with the other one. So can you tell? I just appreciate that one a little bit more. I don't like the big gap that it has in the center of, the separation. So I'm going to be moving it a little more. But other than that, I'm really happy with the way this came out. So I'm just talking about how I have to fix that gap. I'm going to push it up higher. Oh, and just know that it's not truly, it doesn't fit the page protector true to size, and that's not because of the PicFrame app, like the collaging formation of that. It's actually because Canon Selfie, the printer that I use, does not do true to size. As you can see there in the right portion, that 4x6 with the white border right there, that is a how I normally print with the white border, so that way when I'm cutting off the excess, I don't cut off nearly as much, because they give you perforated edges, but I don't cut within the perforated edges, and that helps me get the true form, and I do that for Project Life. And I just showed you a real quick pocket page of Christmas Day, actually. I had one photo. It was the messy photo of all the presents getting opened. It was actually that 4x6 that I'm referring to with the white border. I did some mixed media on the left portion that said Unwrap the Season as my title. I did that on the software, the silhouette, with the digital kit of this collection, Stay Home for the Holidays by Tracy Reed Designs. So now I'm going back to this layout to adhere it to the acetate, so that way it lays over the photo nicely. And I'm going to say layout number 2 is complete. And here is the second one, and I believe I should mark this one as a third layout because, it gets done. I made 2 shaker pockets that were off camera. That's just because I did it in the wee hours of the night. I placed this white cardstock behind it because it was done on acetate, and you can see the Canon trademarks on top of the pictures, and I didn't want to have that being revealed through the acetate. Kind of messes up the aesthetic there a little bit. And layout number 3 is done. So I did mark that. All right, we're moving to the next layout here. This is our picture, our family photo that I actually got a day after Christmas. So on the 26th, I have been asking for this photo all month long. By Christmas Day, I was so expecting a photo with our PJs, and it just didn't happen. So the next day, and I just did it in black and white because I'm just happy at this point that I got done. I guess it's a photo is better than no photo, right? And yeah, it's just so hard. I feel like I have to plan a professional photo shoot to be able to get this, which I have yet to do, and I cannot wait to imagine like all these these boys in my life with suits, in a tie. I just love the idea to see that. So maybe this year I'll try to make that happen. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. I'm making these little star shaker pockets that I showed you, and I also showed you like a little snowman, but I'm going to be putting it on the page protector. It's a filler card, so it's not going to be on the actual page protector that my picture is in, but it's going to be on a different one, and I want to have kind of like a filler page or like a layer. Here is a stencil, so I used stencils to draw it out. Now I'm flipping it over because I did notice when I would use the Fuels tool over the images, it would transfer some ink. So this is my way to avoid it. And on screen, you cannot tell that you can see the stenciling, but I can in real life, in person. Really quick, I showed you different techniques of how to use this style, and that was actually a mishap, the technique that I showed you, but it is possible. You just have to be very careful. So the mistakes that I made in that example I was showing you of these stars was, if you leave the fuse tool on way too long, like while you're doing this and you're prepping it, it gets so hot that it melts the page protector right through, hence creating these holes. I am so sorry that this is having trouble focusing because my head keeps popping out, but I just want to show you, like, you can kind of see the outline, and that is how I make my shapes on these page protectors. And then you kind of like have to pull it off the paper. Be careful, you don't mess it up. But there it is. And I just wanted to show you how I get these done. And I had so much fun. So basically like that. So that way my photo still has some kind of color, but I'm able to flip it over and still have my front picture in its natural form. So I went ahead and did two more, and I like the way that came out so, so much. That bigger star there got kind of cut off. I intended that because I wanted to place the title right there. And I went with holiday wishes, and I just felt like that was fitting because that was my wish for this month. I just wanted a picture. I wanted a family photo with the tree. So, holiday wishes fit. And I'm gonna be placing, I thought I would have them on top of one another, the two titles, but I didn't like the way that looks. So I'll be fixing that here in a bit. But after this, I call this spread done. So it was basically creating a a filler or like a layer for my family photo. I can see many, many ways to get this done. I did place some vellum, what was it, hearts and no stars and snowflakes from the collections. You can see there in the upper right and left portion. I used this peppermint style vellum paper that's from the collection. I just printed it on vellum instead of the regular traditional presentation paper that I used. And I like that I added there. I think I did it only in the two bigger ones though, because you can't really load up the smaller one too much. And this is how it came out. This is layout number 4. Here I'm showing a close-up of how it looks inside the album. I was thinking I may want to place a white stitched border around it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think at this rate, once it's in the album, I think I'm going to move on and I can practice those techniques onto the new year. I'm trying to do more in this album when I'm just trying to get it completed, but there's so many different styles and techniques that I want to try that I get inspired. But I realized too that if you keep pushing yourself to the max, which I did here, this is the wee hours of the night. I'm spent, and I had originally thought I would do these two layouts as layouts rather than pocket pages, but I attempted to try. I think I had originally print them out in smaller sizes, and I believe you saw those at the beginning of the video, but after a few attempts, I was just spent, and I was like, you know what, these can fit just fine in a pocket page. To call this album done, and that is what I did. So I started to print out some of the embellishments to help decorate these pocket spread pages, so that way those are done. And I'm going to go back into the album, and I'm going to add more of these embellishments throughout the each spread. These photos are sharing the story of that whipped cream contest that we back in that day was around. I don't know if you heard about it. You basically place it on your arm or your wrist, and then you kind of like hit your wrist a little bit, and it flings, and you're supposed to catch it in your mouth. Obviously, we all sucked at it, and here's like a step-by-step process out of everybody. I only got my husband, so doing the two-step process. As you can see, it landed on my older child's face. My middle child, it landed on the floor, and he's devastated. And then you can see the one that's in the circle shaped. It's on the ceiling, and that was me. I was like, that was me. Busted. It just made me laugh so hard. We had so much fun doing this, especially during that time. It was during 2020. Everything was just hard, and it was so nice just to get creative and have fun while we're home. So I'm going to be trimming this here in a bit, and I'm just trying to find the right layering before I adhere everything down. All right, here it is all complete. I added in some of the embellishments, these stickers, and I call this one done. That that flip up is good to go. I didn't like how it kind of, the pictures, again, they're not true to size. So if I print these in 3x4s, which I normally do 2 3x4s within one 4x6, and my Canon selfie prints it, they're not true to size. But I'm just going to be more mindful coming into 2021 to start doing the matte cardstock to mat them, so that way I don't have any issues in the pocket pages. So this is also nice in helping me to know what going into the next December, what I want to bring and what I'd rather leave. I think I want to get more planned, and kind of do not, I guess, foundation pages, but just plan how I want to document each spread, kind of do my sketches. I really liked having some rough draft of how I wanted to do each spread. So I think I'm going to do a few foundation pages, some things that either already happened, that are at the beginning of this, in the middle of November, but they do kind of go with December daily. So that'll help me determine which foundation pages to do with the photos that I already have. And there's also a few foundation pages or filler pages you can do that you don't have to wait for any day. So here I am. I'm so sorry I'm a little off centered from the camera here on the screen. I was in my zone and I just wanted to create 2 filler cards here, and I liked the way that circle shape was cut out. I placed a different one, and then I went ahead and did some foam tape on another circle sticker, and I call that done. The photos that are here on this spread today are just reflecting how we like to lay under the tree and look at the Christmas lights. I love doing that. I used to do it on my own, and to see the kids starting to do it with me, I just love it. It's just the best form of magic, in my opinion. I think this year we actually had an issue with the twinkling portion of our tree, so we're getting a new one this year, so it didn't flash on and off like I like it. It just makes it more magical while we're laying there, but I still laid there and enjoyed watching it. All right, here you have it. Layout number 6, I believe, is now completed and already in my album. Here it goes. Love the way this came out. I went ahead and off camera did layout number 7, which is basically just placing all the pictures in here and then just calling it done. I did place 2 shaker pockets in this one, and I'm not sure if I'm doing this as a reminder to get this done, but at this point I think I'm ready for this to be done. Now, I didn't like how busy this layout looked, and it kind of had the other layout over peeking through, and it just made it look really busy. So I went ahead and placed a sheet of vellum. Who knows, I may emboss it, but I just like the simplistic look that it provides for this pocket page, these squares, and also to kind of like a little bit of a reveal for the next layout. I really like the way that looks. But other than that, I think I'm complete. I'm going to be grabbing out the stickers from this collection, and I'm going to be embellishing all these spreads, and then come next week I will give you that quick flip through, and I will also be diving into my December daily 2021 and my foundation pages that I want to share with you guys, which I think I'm going to start off with roughly about five stories that I know I want to share. So that'll help me get started, so that way I'm not going in blindly. But I had so much fun catching up and getting creative, even in the simplest ways. I just love the way that looks, you guys. And I'm so glad that this was successful by doing it this way. And that was not my idea. I want to say I've seen Heba, my little journal, create that. And then this is all inspired by Pam Delson, and I'll be placing that link down below. But yeah, so comment down below, let me know if you're participating in this done by December, or if you just enjoyed the process. Maybe you're doing it for December 2021. Yeah, so this completes the spread for today, or the process. I will be sharing that flip through next week, and I hope you stick around. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye, guys.